Sanje Chudang Zodi Jonam La Shangja Pada Dana Jobsam Je Dagu Chishi Jebe Sonam Ji Ndola Benjo Sanje Ndobara Sho Sanje Chudang Zodi Jonam La Shangja Pada Dana Jobsam Je Dagu Chishi Jebe Sonam Je Ndola Benjo Sanje Rabajo Sanje Chodam Soji Chonam La Shangja Pada Dana Chasumji Naga Chishi Jebe Sonamji Lola Benjara Sanje Rabajo. Okay, good morning again. Happy Mother's Day again. It's my best wish for all the mothers, special or real mothers, and also all the mother sentient beings. Therefore, first, I'm not talking too much. We're going to meditation, Kamabari, about 10 minutes. Keep your mind and focus as much as you can. Okay, first, I do the bill, the breathing meditation about like a couple times. And exhale and inhale at the count. The second time, then you keep your mind and focus on the object, usually what you do the object, okay? As we Buddhism, we explain for Buddha's image, then any other things also you can do you comfortable, okay? Someone's on the sky, on the maybe how you say, on the satellite. Someone's listening to teaching on the satellite. Okay. Let's start to breathing meditation. About 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, good morning again. I hope everyone has a wonderful day when you wake up this morning. Today is the Mother's Day. It's recognized. It's not just send some pictures or some we can say things, but it's important to remember the kindness of the mother. It's Tibetan tradition or way. If your mother's still alive, it's good to even you're far away, maybe call the phone, maybe do something, because it doesn't matter if your mother's still alive and you think, oh, I'm already like 60s, 70s. My mother doesn't think I'm the child. Yes, your mother thinks you are the child. Yes, my baby, my child. Therefore, if you're already mother, then you have experience. If you don't be mother, then you don't really experience how the mothers think the child's always the child. It's a little baby, little girl, a little boy. It's always like that. It's, no, I'm not child. I'm not anymore child. I'm the grown-ups. I'm the adults. I'm already mother in this. Yes, that's true. But the mother thinks it's always the child's child. Therefore, it's good to remember today, the kindness of the mother. I think how the mothers love the child, I think we cannot explain. We're not able to explain how deep, that who can understand that, who you already mother, you have, experience how you feel your child's very precious for you. Of course, mothers that are special for the, of course, fathers also have, but special for the mothers. Therefore, even we can see the birds, some animals, how they try to protect their children. They're working very hard. That's very, the humans more than that. I saw the one news going on, some in the country, that one mother on the cat, cat, her baby is die or maybe very sick. She took the, human beings hospital. I saw the pictures. They really or not? I think they really. Then she took I saw the picture, hold the mouth, the mouth better, taking the, women's hospital. That's, very, how you say, we call it. It shows the mothers, how sometimes all the animals really doesn't know. As according to Buddhism, of course, but Dharma, the animals doesn't know. But the other things, the large things also, they're more smart than people. Also, they're more recognize or more understand that their kindness, who they're really kind for them. Like we can see that, the dogs and cats, how they love their owner. If they think their owner is not very happy, then they're just hiding that, Then also, the owners come in the home, they're waiting on the door. Maybe your husband or wife doesn't waiting you on the door. You go walk all day, then you come back home. Maybe your children doesn't wait for you. But the pets, they can wait on the door when they hear the voice or some sound, they come in, they just come to wait in the door. Therefore, this is how strong, the love for experience or the animals. Therefore, we're human beings, the more than that. We have to do more than that. Therefore, anyway, you guys are also pretty good, Sometimes, especially when here we say, mother's very kind or something. No, my mother's not very nice for me. Then they were, yeah, this is the truth, but this is not mother's choice. And, that she thinks this is the best way to my child and are controlled by the ignorance. Therefore, if really, the choice, then mother doesn't do any bad things for the child. Any bad things happen is controlled by the ignorance, delusions. We don't want to fight, right? We don't want to fight. We don't want to say any bad thing for others. But sometimes we are controlled by the ignorance. Then we just automatically they come. Automatically they say. Like that. Okay? Therefore, if you, mother and father, of course, father is also still alive, you can call them, talk with them, send some message. It's good if your mother's not that. Also remember the kindness for them. As Buddhism, we some pray. Maybe today, okay, my mother's not here, therefore I'm going to pray for specific for my mother. Maybe, one mala or manipemehon. If you maybe your mother's already born, but it doesn't, make any trouble if you recite Om Mani Padme Hum. Therefore, especially, His Holiness told last year, and then the relatives, if someone passed away, it's good to recite Om Mani Padme Hum. He said because the relatives have a very strong connection, very big benefit. Therefore, it's good for everyone to do like that. Okay. Then, of course, we can see some, fathers, mothers do bad things, but this is like controlled by the delusion. That's not their choice. Like attachment, attachment, when we have the arrest, the attachments like become like friend. They come to like the friend way. We don't really see the attachments bad. When attachments come in, it shows give us to something to what we need. Then angry or hater is coming, it becomes like enemy or some like our enemy. Because since you arrest for hater or angry, your mind is not very comfortable. Attachment doesn't do that. Attachment is very soft, very soft. It's giving something. Then angry, just very, very rough luck. Then ignorant, he see the behind them. Then he just push like that. He just push behind. We don't see that. What are that? He said, okay, attachment go that way. He said, angry or hater go that way. Therefore, Tibetan called nyomotusam, and the three poisonous. And therefore, attachment or angry or hater, and then ignorant. Therefore, whatever we do bad things is controlled by that. It's not person's choice. Like that, because I have to talk that, sometime, one time I talk someplace, I give speech. And I say, Buddhism way, the mother's very kind. We always too important to kindness or mother. Then you think your mind, your mother, you recognize or you accept your mother's very kind. Then we think about our life is limitless, beginningless. Then we have all mothers, especially we being human. Then we able to think, oh, maybe he will become my mother one time. she will become, then we can think about for all mother, all the sentient beings become very kind as same to your mother. Think that way, then your all enemies gone. Like that. Therefore, like these times, specific and special times, it's good to remember for kindness for all mothers. Okay? Then we talk about the seven point mind trainings, right? Then today is the last one, the seventh one. We already talked. There are 22 different things to do. And today's which number? Do you remember? Anyone remember? Or you forgot?
I have my notes here, and it says the last one we talked about was training in the 3 difficulties.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And that's subject to bad. What to bad? Then the lobjong and lobjong labja tamse labja said the chego is tamse said the changing mares the song go is then you chewa the.
So this is the 22 advices of the mind training. So advices are the advice on what to do, and are also like advice on what not to do. So I think that's the difference between commitment.
Sometimes Geshe Tenley wonder why 다 가르쳐거나 깔래고 가나 아니 녀모세데 말도 지라 깨게 왔다 빼 무슨 깔래고 그래서.
So we were on the 6th, right? Trained in the 3 difficulties. So the first difficulty is to recognize the delusions. So when the delusions are rising in our mind, it is very difficult to recognize that the delusions rising in our mind.
제단계 단계라 말아서 내차 세대 나도 지라 깨게 갑라 나도 때 녀모바 무슨 거래. 너차 세대 나도 저보고 선로 소소라치 고국의 유제 땡에 선로 나도 대통령 그래서 되게 나도
So like I said earlier about attachment, when we generate attachment, we don't feel like we are having delusion. We think that, this is a good mind, and it's the type of mind that is kind of fulfilling our wishes, by giving us all these things that we want to have.
아니 공도 세대 인간 지역을 아니 그 저우서로 공도 세대 그 잡고 문서 도보야 아니 라다 제치 다 기본에 봐도 그 소요 된다 그 저우서로 저런 게 그래.
And when the anger arises, it doesn't feel like a delusion either. It feels like, it's our protection. It's protecting us from our enemies and unwanted things.
아니 때문에 대니가 잡로라 되는 책이요. 공무수 돈 보여 말. 때문에
And the ignorance is the worst of them because you don't even it doesn't come in the front. It's just in the back, behind these 2 anger, the hatred and attachment, and then making it to have these minds and other delusions as well.
제당도 상심을 많이 왔어. 내차 세당 때문에 원가나 레당하다 이쯤에 왔어. 제자 안중원에 좀 디바샤게 가르쳤나? 내차 세당 때문에 왕게 링아에서 이렇게 와 바샤게 이성도 와 제자 너차 세당 섬라 모두 독섬라 그래.
So like it is said in the King of the Prayers, there's 3 poisonous delusions: attachment, hatred, and ignorance. Through them we create the 3 actions through our body, speech, and mind. So it says whatever actions of the body, speech, and mind, non-virtuous actions that I have created through my body, speech, mind, out of ignorance, attachment, and hatred, I will confess them also like that.
제가 안에 깔래가다 다 녀모세대 담보 무슨 깔래가고 요래서 야만은 녀모세대 전 깔래가고 요래서 어때 셔다니 뭐도 왔어.
이거도 벌써?
담보들 셔당 야만은 무슨 깔래가고 야만은 전 깔래가고 되니까 담보를 잡다니 용도.
So the first one is, like I said, difficult to recognize the delusion. And the other explanation also says that it's difficult to remember the delusions.
제가 데려다 가지고 아니 뇨모서 무성문다 뇨모다 뇨모 무선바에나 가지고 뇨모 자와 만도 팽겠다 가지고 선마도와 가지고 쇼도도와.
So we don't recognize it as as a delusion. If we recognize it as a delusion, then it will become easier for us to avoid it. But because it's not easy, it's because it's difficult. Therefore, it's difficult to avoid it.
아니 다 나중에 뇨모 jelekche 체비 질라야 아니 가도 매바서 빼면서 갈까고 그랬어.
And then after that, so when these delusions arise, it's very difficult to overcome. So first, it is difficult to recognize, and once it have arisen in our mind, then it is very difficult to overcome.
그래도 아무도 뇨모 하고 있나 내가 세다데 무슨 야포 말을 하면 그걸 녀모 때문에 빼갈까고 와.
So even if after we have recognized these the delusions like attachment, anger, and ignorance, then it is very difficult to overcome them by applying antidotes, right?
근데
Is it like that?
저도 내가 세다데 무도 야고 말해. 나 저 야포 말에 저도 챙겨 와. 나도 챙겨 와.
So do we all know that delusions are bad? But is it difficult? Is it easy or difficult to overcome?
배낭 알아서 가서나 맞아서 그나면도 가지 미지길래 지나 제단 등무도 삼나 나도 갑도 고로사도 나도 때 야보 말에 챙겨도 와이나 텔레니보 때도 뭐다 갑도 때 발렌 적셔도.
So if somebody says something bad about us, we immediately become angry, and then we know, oh, this is not good, but then we respond immediately with somebody, with something. We respond right away. It's difficult for us to say, oh, this is delusion. I should not respond. I should stay calm. I shouldn't care like that. And that kind of thing is very difficult to overcome. And so therefore it is difficult to overcome or apply antidote.
다 가도 녀모로 때마다 양조 때 맞지와 제대 빼갈까고 요래서 양 담보지 무슨 바 되네야 가도 녀모로 때마다 양조 때 맞지와 제대 빼갈까고 요래서.
And then the third one is the most difficult is like to eliminate it completely. Very difficult to eliminate it completely. So first, it's difficult, right? Even if you recognize, then it is difficult to overcome. And even if you have overcome at that time, but to not have it arise again, it's very difficult. Is that right?
디리가도 코로나와서 나와 잘못하면 요보잖아. 정말 당가 주마드네 지금 매사 봐지. 정말 니마 가셔지네 야 지제나 나도 다라 쇼로도 와.
So like we become angry for some reason, and after that we realize, oh, this is not good. I should not become angry. And then, but after a few days later, then when that similar situation arises, then you become angry, without any control, right?
예, 어제 제가 니나 라베데 따다 니나 라베데 팅문에 렌도 왔으면 좋아래 근데 근데 인사에 삼면은 가도 좋아래고 말해. 오다 팅문에 다 렌도다스. 아니 대나는 삼면 팽그래.
So when you listen to this, then you have to feel like, yeah, that's really true. Like you have to feel like that. Oh, that might be how it is. If you think like that, then it doesn't help your mind. You have to have that feeling. Yes, that's really true. That kind of feeling you get in your mind.
제가 롭존다 람름 그 아니 제단도 좀 셈라야. 당아도 배회로나 셈라 포발라 그러 간지. 오다 대도 말랍군도 대도 말라 임사래. 당원에 말람게 되고 나간에 막 건도다 섬. 근데 삼바조나 아니 수수 셈 팽거리.
So these teachings on graduated path to enlightenment and mind training, in Tibetan we say it strikes your heart or mind. It should touch you. You should feel it. You should feel it. It should touch you. So if you feel that, then it's then that will change your mind. Otherwise, if you just read it like information in a news like that, then that doesn't help you much.
Yes, Laura.
Geshe, yes, thank you so much. I just had a question about the statement that you just made about how we should think, yes, that's really true when we hear these teachings. It's not like I don't agree with that. I just think, well, shouldn't we have to think about it first? I mean, we shouldn't just automatically say that's really true without reflecting on it, right?
No, they something yabo래. som노다나 고 란초 그러와. 대 라마지 대 체고 그래서 소소 force나 된 것도 설명 안 잡아도 말.
Yeah, of course. That's why we talk about earlier. Is it true or not? Is it really true? And this, yes, it is. And then that has to. Yeah, of course. First, you have to read it, and then you have to contemplate it. If it's really true, then of course, then that has to. And then you have to feel it. Like say, yeah, it's really true like that. You have to check, of course. Yes.
대 수수 셈라테 가로 라로 만져봐치네 파포 제 고르세 콜랍샤와이나 되게 팬토 말 되게 너 포트라래 되게 셈 팬토.
No, it's not like you have to force yourself to agree with that. No, it's not like that. Of course, first you have to understand and if it makes sense or not. If it does make sense, then you have to accept it. Of course, it's not saying that you just have to accept whatever it is said in the teaching. No.
제가 누구지나 something 알레 빼자는 데를 남다 오늘 드는 데와 요모데 무슨 깔라고 나와 대탱문은 누다스 무슨 줄 아테 갑자기 짜 깔라고 다 대한 오늘 렌도다스 소소 초와 다 갑자기 드링에 가도잖아 선이 양주 맞죠 대어죠 대어 도구들은 소소 삼라 아 땡오네 데 렌도 삼네 소소 삼라 치 란차 봐쇼나 아니 삼라 때네 평그래.
So just like here, it says like it is difficult to recognize the delusions. No, you don't even know the emotion that you're having is a delusion or not. It's very difficult to recognize that. And then it's really true. Yeah, so of course you analyze it. Yeah, that's right. When I'm having attachment, I don't even realize that that's attachment. I don't even realize that's a delusion. And when I realize it, and then once I have realized it, even if I have realized it, it's difficult to overcome it. Is it really true or not? Yeah, it's really true. It's right. Yeah, I mean, of course you have to analyze and then yeah, that's really true because it is difficult to overcome attachment like that. And then after that, is it once you have overcome it at that time, then is it difficult to stop it from arising it again in the future or not? Yes, it is very difficult. Just because we're so used to that, it just automatically goes to that. Like that. And if it's really true, that yeah, it's really true like that. And then that's what you have to feel like. Yes, it's really true.
Okay. 다들 좁아대 다 제와대 다 지조 섬나 랍세들 지조 섬 당당하세요 아마나.
And then the seventh one is it says to cultivate three main causes.
아니 당보대변아 소소응은에 아니 추체와라 가른 동거나 아니 소소 라마야 보지된 태고 그래 아니 소소 샘들 다 레드로하고 그래.
So the three main causes, for practicing Dharma, and the three favorable conditions, for Dharma practice. We need a guru. We need to find a qualified guru.
아니 소소고 로테 샘들 레드로하고 그래.
And then one has to cultivate, a virtuous mind, make one's mind serviceable to practice the Dharma.
아니 다 대인 좀바였나? 아니 다 선바 아니 추드벤 튼전 좀바서 다 대선 상고에서 봐.
And then not only having that virtuous mind and having found the guru, you still have to have the other the external conditions to be able to do the practice of having a place to do practice, finding a food. If you don't have a place to live, food to eat, then you won't be able to survive. So won't be able to practice Dharma. So these three causes, we should gather together these three causes.
제장아 다 당봉운데 빼내가 네가 나다 남배추의 신년 때서다 송대기를 아니 신년 때서다 소소 신이 개개 간지 센드신이가 남도정인데 라마 만을 와지된 거 그래 학 녀와체고 그래 녀 세워질라 tel라 텐트 말로 와체고 그래 남수선 거요.
And so same here talking about the finding the guru. finding the learned or qualified or learned guru. And it's just similar as in the beginning of the Lam-rim where it talks about the guru devotion, right? So you have to find the guru, so once you have found the guru, then you have to devote in him or her perfectly. And then after that, one has to make sure that one doesn't devote to the guru in an improper way.
When the shooter tombo can I young Lamala Yapotega, Yamanan Zambele Kedang to Sortengo, Tikejamari, Namju Susule, Kadina Rate Dingy, that Gingijana, or that Tuzula ten the Yapochegures, or Tenatekure.
So, like having a devotion, and a respect towards the guru. It's not saying that you have to have a respect and devotion towards the guru who are sitting on a high throne. Or who are very famous in the world, not like that only. So whoever is giving you the advice of the Dharma teaching, then you should rely on that guru. So you have to find the guru and then devote to him or her in a proper way. Shouldn't like keep on changing gurus. So today you go to one person and then listen to teaching. Tomorrow you go to another person, listen to teaching. If you go and keep on doing like that, then you will never gain any realizations. You will not be able to find, never able to devote, to the guru properly, and you will not be able to gain any realizations.
Lama Zopa Michilaya, any Gegabana, Jangchub Samba Kundo Sambugi, any Tanda Sanju Monum Chubo, Nyag, Lama Jada Chutem by
And so you should not, keep on changing. Changing means like leaving the one that you have rely on for some time, leaving that one and then going to the other one, not like that. Of course, you can add. You can listen to this guru, and then you can have another guru and then listen to him like that. Of course, you can have as many guru as you want, or you can afford to have a devotion. But you should not change, like leave this one and then go to another one, then leave that one and go to another. Not like that. If you do like that, you will never find a proper guru, and will never be able to gain any realizations. Of course, you can add more, just like Samantha Bhadra. I said that just to gain a good understanding about the king of prayer, he changed like 100. I mean, he had 100, not changed. Sorry, he had 110 gurus.
Okay, all this. That didn't that. Chedanga ani suzugu ani kanji gege yaboji suzu nyewachi. Suzu semla ya chu chendege ya kuno yaboji yobachi. Ani chu chevegan tinjedu zum zomiona ani ta gawa gomse.
So if you have these three causes together, like having found the qualified or learned guru, and having the intention to practice Dharma or virtuous mind, and then having all the favorable conditions, external favorable conditions like food, place to live, food to eat, place to live, and so forth, then you can rejoice. And just like you rejoice, over having that for yourself, also pray for others to be able to have, so and so like that for others, so they can practice Dharma.
And that's also a tell them time dan jiten na ngata batinde masama mambo yori tonso samang gato ta samachi tawa show them nije ko matriche gore.
And if you don't have some or any of these three main causes, then also pray for yourself to have. And just like I don't have all these conditions or causes, there are so many people who don't have these causes. So just like me, may all these beings have these three causes to practice Dharma.
Ani ta desa masang tanda ngala masawati ndomlela masawa samay gochobro shosa ordinary sambo kabla.
And then also you can say that because it's not I don't have this, it's incomplete in me. And so may I be able to take all the incompletes of others upon myself.
Okay, Wing, your question?
Yes, I have a question. So you said that it's very important to find the right guru and completely devote to them. But I'm wondering, before we devote to the guru, how could we know that it is the right guru for us? There are so many different paths to final realization. There are some 84,000 different types of practice paths. How could we know that this is the right one?
That's good. That's a very good question. And so de and tang getting my labja jabjo thing when it's nambe chudang shedan tongun do me de some tango race.
So first thing is to see what the teacher is explaining is in accordance with the Dharma or not.
Korala tending nyamnyonda. Ta nyamnyonda kalika kanje yenden dum de tango yore.
And we have to see whether he or she has those qualities, the knowledge about the teaching or not.
Ani nitene ani jela tsewandu de shedan quality member that dina randa jeni gena jela kanji gegenda sesem do es.
See whether the guru is compassionate or not. Is he or she someone who cares about others more than himself or herself? So someone who is willing to work hard for the sake of others. And then other most important thing is to see if that is helping one's mind or not. Whatever he or she is teaching and talking or telling is helping your mind or not. Says, oh yeah, that's really true. Yes, like if you have that kind of feeling, if you get that kind of feeling when he or she is talking to you, then that's very good. So these are the main ones. Of course, there are many qualities, like there are 10 qualities of the teacher and so forth that is explained, right? The guru has to be learned, pacified, and subdued, and so forth. So all these qualities that's mentioned in the Lam-rim teaching. So of course, you can read through all of them. And if you can find the guru with all those qualities, that's good. But nowadays, maybe it's a little difficult. So these are the main ones that I just said. So if you find that, then that's the person that you can devote to.
제가 담보 개개 마대면 갈래 주로 드시는 주니 저거요. 다 아니 소소지 넘바로지 쇼와이나 개개 개동대와 차로요. 다 아니 개개 소소 간제 야부된 거래.
And so first, of course, you have to check the guru and just go to listen to him and see his behavior, the way he talk, way he act, like that. You can see, when you see after checking that, then if you really feel like, oh, he is learned, he's very compassionate and he's caring about others more than himself. He's willing to work hard for others, like that. Then you say, oh yeah, then you can start to rely on that person as your guru. Of course, if you have taken a vows or like initiation and so forth, then that person is already your guru. So before you take those vows and initiations from the guru, you have to check about him or her first very carefully. But once you have taken that, then there's no checking is too late. Then you have to already rely on that person as your guru.
제가 아니 샹첩 선배 돈바당 아니 점주 돈바당 간제 아니 대제 소리 돈바지는 간제 돈바 렌사와나 바지 고갱에 차로 왔다.
So once you have taken like the Bodhisattva vows or tantric vows, of course, and then even the individual liberation vows, like the refuge vow, and even like the 8 minor precept, those. Once you have taken these things from somebody, then that person is already your guru.
다 근데 경에 때에서 비질라 다 가르치거든요. 야. 쇼치는 가서 레 마타와 있어 봐라. 지지나 문에 딱 경에들이 있어 봐야. 즉 맞아 봐. 가르고.
So once you have taken, then even if you see any faults in the guru, then you should just think that, oh, this is my impure vision, or it's my impure karma. that's making me see him or her like that. It's not. I mean, it's very difficult to say that person is really like that. When you see the person like that, is really like that. It's just, it's not necessarily that person is like that really. It could be your way of seeing the person in that way. And so you have to think like that. So once you have, if you see fault way, then you see fault in everybody, right? So if you see in the quality way, then you see the qualities in that person. And so the way you see also depends a lot.
So like
if you look look at the faults only, then you see faults in Buddha Shakyamuni also. Like Devadatta, Buddha's cousin, was always jealous about Buddha. Right? Buddha was getting all the names and fames and respect from others. So he was always jealous. So he was always like competing with Buddha. And so he never saw any good qualities in Buddha. He only saw bad qualities.
So like
that, if you look in the fault, in a faulty way, then of course you see lots of faults. Like even like the Pope, the highest of the Christianity, the priest, like Christian priest, even like that, he's doing so well. So many people are devoted to him, and so. But there are so many people, other people also, pointing out his faults.
And
then even like in our Tibetan Buddhism, His Holiness the Lama is the highest, and majority of the people respect him and look him in as a compassionate Buddha. But there are also other people who see faults in him, and even among the Tibetans, there are so many Tibetans who say bad things about His Holiness. So if you look in a faulty way, then you see lots of faults in anybody. The reason why we are advised to not look at the faults is so that we don't develop those wrong views, and then lose respect or disrespect the gurus like that. And so same with in our relationships, right? The boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. At the beginning, you are attached to each other very strongly, that you don't see any faults. You only see the good qualities. Then after being with some time, the person, then you start to look at the faults. Right? So when you look at the faults, then you see only the faults. And then you come to the point where you don't want to be together at all.
Okay, now my answer is too long. That can't tell na cardana. Join the ending in the part Tasalaya and the ending that change.
So yeah, of course, you see all these different kind of qualities, good qualities and bad qualities. But from our side, attempt, to look at mostly, if not completely, but mostly at the good qualities.
Okay. Yes.
It sounds to me that the relationship between gurus and us is kind of very tricky, because if I understand correctly, we have to somewhat trying to ignore or not paying attention to, as you say, the problems that we see in the other person, but probably we see that the other person is not perfect because we are not perfect. We try to use our logic to understand what's going on in the other people's mind, and because we are not perfect, so we kind of form those logics that are wrong. But since we do not really understand what's going on there, so we're kind of misunderstanding. So it's it's possible, but I feel that there could be a very high chance to fall into self-deception, and there is like a way to avoid that.
어제 대초 다대 소소 개개 마대면 때 따초고 그랬어.
다 개개 땐사바이 나야.
땐사비 전에 때나 따도 초고다 대 때문에 소소 간지 대화까지 이제 나와 있는 종 소소라 그래. 시단 그 파줄을 채웠게 요 말에. 딘내가 다 고고 그러야.
So the reason why we are advised to not look at the faults, is not because the person doesn't have a fault, but if we look at the faults, then we see the faults bigger than it really is. And then when he says, "Oh, he's bad," and he says, "He's really bad," like that. We only see he's really bad. There's no good in him at all, or like that. That's how extreme we go to. When we look at the faults. So it's not saying that Guru doesn't have a fault. And you should only look at he only has a goal. It's not from his side. From our side, if we look at the faults, then we lose respect. Then we don't listen to his advice. Then we won't get any realizations. And so we are at the lost. And so it's for our own sake that we should look in that way. Because if we look in that way, if we look in the good qualities, then it's beneficial for ourselves. If we look at the bad qualities, then it's harmful to ourselves. So it's for our own benefit. We have to say, of course, it's not easy. We're not used to that kind of way of looking, but we have to practice, to look in that way, and then eventually we will be able to look in that way if we practice. But at the beginning, to see that way, of course, doesn't sound logical, and to us because we're not used to that, But if we do practice and meditate in that way, then of course it's possible. You can see that way. And if we are able to see that way, then then we'll follow the advice, and it's our it's our own gain, our own benefit. So of course, this is the most difficult part, that, as they say. Once you have gained the realization of good devotion, then other realizations will come very easily. So the reason why we're not able to have the other realization is because of not having a proper guru devotion realization. So it's not like you're forced to say to not look at the faults even though he has a fault. It's not like that. Of course you can look, but it's your loss. If you do it, it's harmful to yourself. And so if you don't look at the faults and you look at the good qualities, then it's beneficial for yourself. So, of course, that's the reality, but of course we don't realize that, And we say, yeah, that's true. It's that he has the faults, so I should look at the faults. We might say like that, But it's harmful to us, even though that's true.
So lobdo jing de kala nyena kebon sosora gana ko lobdo jingla do ko mixe kebon raya marta samti rawta na.
So like you go to the many like high universities, you have a professors there, right? And so a professor is teaching about a subject that you are learning, and if you pay attention to that, you listen to that, then you will gain. But if he has other problems, right? Of course, he has other problems. And if you look at the other problems and other faults in him, and they say, "Oh, he's bad. I should not listen to him." And then if you don't listen to the subject that you're learning, then who loses it? You. Even though he has other faults, doesn't matter, right? But what he's teaching about the subject that you're learning, is true. Is important. Is beneficial. So if you listen to that and you learn that, then that's beneficial for yourself. It's like that. Advisor.
Yeah, 제당도 소소지 다치마다나 될래야 랍자일래도. 근데 랍자다랑 셴바 주도래 뭐 랍자다랑 키는 소소를 팽거야. 셴르도냐 될래야 견담으로 용서 그러 봐.
So like you have advisors in the schools or universities, right? People can advise you what to do, how to study, you know, and what subjects to choose and so forth. Like if you listen to the advice of the advisor, then it's going to be beneficial for yourself. You know, just listen to the advices that advisors give you. Don't think about other things in your life, you know. If you think about that, then, you know, you see all those other faults. So does that make sense?
Okay. So
that is because of that reason, you know. Otherwise, not saying that whether you want or not, or whether you like or not, you have to devote to him or her, not like that. So yeah, it's very important point, you know, an important points because of the good the good devotion, and of course it's very difficult for the gurus, for someone, you know, who is whose position is a teacher, you know, to say that to the disciples, say, okay, you have to, you know, look at the guru as a Buddha. You should not look at the faults of the guru at all. It's like saying, don't look at my faults at all. So just listen to the teaching he's, you know, giving, and how he's, of course, other things like in the back, what he's doing, how his lifestyle, all these things. If you think about that, then it's very difficult. You will see many faults.
Okay, that is it. And
then the eighth one is called meditate on the 3 non-declining attitudes. Non-declining attitudes. And so this one is very similar with the number 7, cultivate the 3 main causes. So the non-declining attitude is to like kind of support, you know, the 3 main causes.
제가 단계대 아니 대화치 뭐 여대 상마대까지 남배춘의 샤바나 개gel라라와다 개gel라 무기 많이 받고 그래서 기바 많이 받고 그래서.
And it says like to be successful in your dharma practice, it is important that you have respect and faith for your guru. Yeah.
아니 로브존 단다 로브존다 람름 그 추대 대화치 뭐 추고다 양이 너도 대여만다 대검발라 쪼 많이 받고 그래서.
And then it says, have a strong enthusiasm and joy for practicing Dharma. So it's very similar, right? You know, like a virtuous mind, you know, like that.
아니 대야 아니 다 젠바의 시지게 때니 아니 티 랍자도 그대나야 대 소소지를 많이 받고 그래서.
And then so that advices, those advices that's given to you, you know, should be kept properly in your mind with the mindfulness and awareness.
어디 빼내가 데서 빼 파산보다는 데서 빼 무슨 내가 같이 버려셔.
And so these are very important things if you think about them.
빼체나 수수다 당간도 직대 개개 그 수수 개개라야 개점 냠바이나 개개 갈 얘기 말아. 아니 수수 되게 로존라마서.
So like if you lose faith or respect, you know, towards the guru, then you will not listen to the guru, right? If you don't listen to the guru, then you will not get the advice from the guru.
아니 당한지 소소 대 로존 제야들이야 좁아 냠서나 양한도 대 로존도 유샤그러와.
So if you lose faith and enthusiasm or joy in doing the practice, then you will not have, you know, you will not practice, right? You know, so that's very important, you know, to not lose that kind of joy and enthusiasm.
아니 텐데그 로존 냠래야 보 영화라 양 단데 녜라야 제 조악가리 제 거가 조야 따다다다 맞지나 공도 아니 펜도 말와.
And then also, in order to be able to do that, then you have to be very mindful and aware, you know, of all those advices and commitments, you know, what to do and what not to do.
그러나 가서 맨간라 치네야 매이사와이나 단답에나 웹생을 갑로네 이지미지 잡고 생도 같다. 고답다도 지금 뭔데 고용고에서 뭐 코로나까지 소소지 열어와. 레버드 돈발란 레버드 영화라 코티 지치 차상하지 놓고 그러와. 어디서는 제가 띵가라 제거와 가래 랍자가래 송고야 가래도 다다다다 놓고 그래.
And so you have to, you know, follow the advices and the commitments, you know, what to do and what not to do. Like when you go and take the vaccination, you have to get 2 doses, right? If you just take 1 dose, it will not be effective. and you have to take 2 doses. And like that, so you have to take this way, and you have to not, you cannot not take that like that. So what to do and what not to do. So you have to be very mindful and be aware of those things.
배전에 대상하고 알리지나 교수 알리지나긴데 알리지나나 거들라 간다. 나 tamma sogor seada. 아니 기구직 마다고 세하다. 아니 되지. 다 메사지 메사원에 제거를 맞잖아. 맹패도 말라고 와. 어디서 도다 찍바로래.
So you have to be mindful and aware of what to do and what not to do all the time. Like even in the case of following the simple advices to prevent the allergy, right? So if you have allergy, then they say you should do this, you should not do that, and things like that. So whatever you have to do, you have to be mindful. So, if you forget to do that, like they said, you should not keep your window open. If you do, then what do you call that?
Allergy.
The pollens, the pollens, will fly into your room and house, and then you will get this sneezing and so forth. So if you don't remember that, if you're not mindful about closing the window, then you will get the pollen like that. So you have to be mindful and aware of the things.
Okay. 제가 남배에 죽은데 랍자도 시당 남중가도 직대는 로당다 지바로 연구요래.
Yeah, so the Buddhism, the teachings of the Buddhism is very similar, to the way of the things in our life.
제가 삼부 소소 고발해 토바이나 고땡에 때도 랭에 렌 탐나 되어래. 고땡에 고때 야봇 맞다가 랭에 말은 아니 야 차단 투줘야죠.
So someone who is explaining can explain in that way, and someone who is listening can listen in that way, then they can get it, If the person who is explaining doesn't explain in the proper way, and the person who is listening doesn't listen in the proper way, then everything can get messed up.
I'm not saying I'm the good person to explain, okay? 대지 다 제가 고와데 아니 잡아매 봤습니다. 된거 그래서 잡아매 봤음.
And then the 9th one, it says possess the 3 inseparables.
안돼 뇨라서 쇼요래. 아니 가제 링아 예섬 개외 샤워도 맞아와 제거 그래서.
And so then this is very complicated. It says that we should never separate our body, speech, and mind, with the virtuous actions.
나도 제도문도 나도 니마치 추서지게 제도문도.
For us, very difficult, right? We can't even do that, for an hour or for the time when we're trying to do our practice, right? Our commitments, daily practice. Even during that time, to keep our mind, body, speech, and mind in a virtuous state is very difficult.
That quote part karo that's sur 가지고 도보지 바깔에 가오지나 간지 링아 예섬 개와다 맞아봤지 그래서 와 디섬라 안데 먹고 다다 디섬잖아 그래 야만나 쇼게 니고 gondas음라 그래 간지 수수 링아 예섬 개와다 맞아봤고 그래서 다대배 도보레스 담보.
So this is very strict, right? So saying that our body and our actions of the body, speech, and mind has to be always virtuous. That's what he's saying. It always has to be virtuous. So never be separated. Never be separated from virtuous action. So it's almost like impossible for us, right? So as long as I think to make it a little bit loose, as long as you don't engage, in the non-virtuous actions, as long as we don't involve our body, speech, and mind into non-virtuous actions, any of the 10 non-virtuous actions, and then that's good enough. And then to make it even looser, you can say intentionally. Don't engage in the attendant virtuous actions intentionally. So the intentionally engaging in attendant virtuous action, I think most of us don't have that, right? So like the harsh word, we use on others. Or nowadays, we of course mostly we do the text, right? So we text in harsh words, to others.
Kolon Thana and Ichi Nujimato, Nijutana and in Jugmato, the net of Machado.
And so, of course, we don't do it intentionally. Someone we're motivated by anger or something, then we do that. But anyway, most of the time, because of our little bit of understanding of our dharma or a little bit of an experience with our practice, either not all the kind of actions of the non-virtuous action will be complete. Either the motivation is incomplete, or the actual action is incomplete, or the conclusion is incomplete, like that. And so, like, for example, you say something bad, or you text some harsh word to somebody, and then later you realize, oh, I should not have said that, or I should not have sent that text. Then the conclusion is not complete. Or like sometimes you have this very thought about saying something bad to the person, and then when you come to the point to say bad, and you say, oh no, that's not good, like that. You get like that, and you have a complete you have the motivation, the beginning, but not the actual action.
Okay, like that. It's a little bit loose. Karo Chetan Shibajina, Kulurjin chair, Chetan Majina Yango Karo, Chagi, the Tamada Chudar Chade.
So Buddhism, is very flexible, right? If you know how to do it, you can make it loose and relaxing. But if you don't know that, then it can be very stiff, like iron.
Chetangi Kata Shimba, Kuma Makulabares, in a Kushina Kushures.
Just like I said before, don't steal, but if you know how to steal, then you can steal.
Nimara Kumuchi Kodana, Nimajala Kumujaraso, Imaji Kumuchi Kana, Ko Kumachagmare, Kumari, Nibadi Pomare.
So, there's the amount of the value, right? The value, So if somebody loses $1, it's not a big loss, But if somebody loses $100, then it's a big loss, right? So if someone takes $100 from you, you would be like angry. And if someone takes like $1, doesn't make you angry or doesn't feel like you lose so much, So they say that's the value. So that's the set for the value, and the set for the value is a $100, which makes you really upset and sad. So one day, if I take you $1 at a time. And after some time, then take another $1. Then after some time, take another $1. You will not feel anything. And then and the 100th time, I've already taken $100, but you don't feel anything because I didn't take $100 from you at once. So if I take it that way, then it doesn't become stealing. But if I take $100 at one time, then you feel angry or upset, and then it becomes stealing, like that. So like that way, if you know how to steal, you can steal. So if you take it all the time from one place, then again you may get caught. And then also there's the rule about not eating after the noon, and not eating after, especially during the time when you take the 8 minor precepts, right? And then people are very strict, they look at the time, if it's, if the second is just before the 12, just before 12, the clock, it's just before 12, then you try to finish that, like very strict.
제가 대단점정은 너가 내가 제거나 콜 내가 그래 강지 두서진 따다 말나 코 님고 칼라 말하나 님고 칼라 말하나 저도 존나 콘로나 시우샤리야. 야 니바사서 어때?
So now, of course, in the West, not everybody is free, right, at that time. So you have to be maybe walking in the middle of the walk. You can't stop it right there and go and eat. So then you say, oh, it's 12 already, so I can't eat now. And then if you don't eat, you could become hungry, and then you may become angry, like that, right?
제차가 야 텔레야 산제 좀 내가 나왔던데 여러분. 근데 제당 지라야 내가 갈라지 내가지 동보 끊고 키고도 야 담보. 근데 내가 야 라네 내 상황 칼라 타마딘 되는 사람이 해서 맞는 내 제다 내 고요 주제 바잖아고 주제 들락면도 양 가시게 제달아야 배나 칼라 사유 칼라야 칼라 타마 주제다 칼라 내 마미제다 세비자 되는 사람이자 되는 제야요.
And so you can sit in you can eat once you have to eat in one sitting, so you can say you sit down and you eat, and then once you get up then you can't eat again. So like that, when you do that, even if that time passes 12 noon, then you can still keep on eating, or then but of course you have to have the motivation at the beginning. So okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to eat in one sitting, and doesn't matter so much about the time, so it's just I'm going to eat in one sitting like that. Then during that sitting, you eat, and even if it passes the time, that's okay. And then another, of course, it's all in your mind, right? So you have to set the mind that way before you do that. And but otherwise, if you have set the mind to finish it before noon, then you have to finish it before noon. That's the mind, not set mind. And then also same with like, okay, so I'm going to have the last bite, and after that I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to rinse my mouth, and then after that I'm not going to eat it, like that. And then until you rinse, your mouth, you can still keep on eating. Yeah, so I mean, of course, there's a way you can do if you know how to do. But if you don't know, and you're very strict with yourself, and you just stay strict. Well, yeah, of course, you can make things more loose like that. But of course, if you can follow that way, just follow that way. And especially like in the West, people are very strict with the rules, right? And like there are many different ways you can do the things. And then they find one way, and then they think that's the way. And then if things don't work in that way, then it's, oh no, it's so bad, and it didn't do that way like that. So like the way you set the offering, and there are many different ways to set. So you think you have to just follow that. And if you see something different next time, then you say, oh, this is wrong, like that. Yeah, so there are many different ways you can do, of course you have to know and be relaxed.
Okay, anyway, I think we'll stop here. Then also maybe no questions because I have something to do here. Okay, you guys can finish the dedication. You don't have to rush. Then I'm going. Okay. Okay, have a good day, wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all.
Happy Mother's Day again, everybody.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys finish.
Thank you, Geshe.
You guys can finish the prayer, okay?
Ji perki jukching me tok tram ri rab ling ji ni de gen pa di sange jing du ming te uwagi droko nam dag jing la chur pa shu je tsun la me ku tse rab ten ching nam ka trin le chok chur ge pa dang do sang ten pe dern me sa sum gi dro we mun sel ta tu ne gyur chig idam guru ratna mandalaka miryatayami. From my two collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the Snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Let's do the prayer to always meet with perfect teachers. Your form embodies all Buddhas. Your nature is that of Vajradhara. You are the root of the three jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O Protector, to be cared for by you from birth unremittingly throughout all my lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, holding every secret of your body, speech, and mind. O Protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be foremost among your very first circle of disciples wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes without exception may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Furthermore, in life after life, may I, pleasing him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care, may I acquire in him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never even for a moment fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and the pure view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience. In every life, may every virtuous act gathered by way of body, speech, and mind be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha's state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Mikmate se wei ter chen rezig, dream yen pei wang po jam pel yang, gang chen ke pei su gen Tsongkhapa, lo san rak pei jab la so